Yes.
Good evening and blessings to you. Um, my name is Andrew Kavanagh, and next to me is Avatar
Avatar Galectra.
Galectra. Um, the Avatar is the person who lived as the God known as Lord Jesus about 2,000 years ago, as Lord Buddha about 2,500 years ago, and as Lord Krishna about 5,200 years ago. And I lived on this planet as the renowned physicist named Albert Einstein. So we're here in the city of Niagara Falls, Ontario, living as a family who have been bouncing from one motel to another for the past almost a year now, because after we were thrown out of our last place of residence in St Catharines, Ontario, where we lived for about 6 years. We're coming to you at this time to ask you to go fund me people for emergency support that we need to be able to remain inside the motel room that we're currently staying in at a place called Travel Lodge, which is located at 773 Lundy's Lane in Niagara Falls. And if you want to check to see if we are actually here, you may contact them at the phone number 905 374 7171, or I think a mobile phone number 1-800 667 3407. With a family, the couple, the whistle-blowing couple, were sounding the alarm about the international health crisis that is now consuming and engulfing the entire human race today. There is a disease that is infecting and terminating the lives of many people today across this planet. However, we are here to inform you that this illness is being created deliberately, not by a microscopic enemy called a pandemic, a COVID-19 pandemic, but in fact it is being created using a technology that has vast fourth dimension capabilities, which is in the possession of the American military for about 8 decades now. They're using this technology to create cloaks of invisibility to move through the fourth dimension, which is the next dimension next to our three-dimensional world, to insert poisoned mucus inside the bodies of about 50-something million human beings today, and taking the mortal lives of over 1 million of our human sisters and brothers so far. This technology does not belong in the hands of anyone on this planet because of the vast capabilities that it contains. The ringleader who is using this technology on this planet, against this family, is the man-child in the White House who currently is refusing to leave, the one known as Donald J. Trump. He's been coming into our home on scene, teleporting himself using this technology, wearing cloak of invisibility, attacking the avatar on a daily and nightly basis, inside her body,
from head to toe.
Head to toe, mouth, ears, eyes. He's been attacking the avatar for about 4 decades with this technology. This technology has been given to thousands of American agents who have been moving through the fourth dimension, literally in the twinkling of an eye, and infecting the bodies of innocent human beings with poisoned mucus inside their mouths, eyes, nose, and ears. and causing a number of them to lose their mortal lives. The necks. We are here as a
along
family.
the back, sorry. Neck, along the back, on the hips, moving the bones, lifting the kneecaps, lots of pain, interfering with your teeth, twisting it in different ways, and pull out one of them and try to pull out some more of them. All kinds of behavior that has been taking place.
Yes.
He has since then, however, straightened back the teeth here, but I still can't have that tooth that he pulled out replaced until I have the money that the Canadian government and the American government owes so that we can look after ourselves. The things that were done to me and my husband, our daughter, can be fixed. But we need the money, and they have to pay us the money because we have no money. So these things are very important.
Since this is a short promotion for our GoFundMe campaign, we invite you to check out our broadcast called A New Way of Being that we do on Facebook Live and also on the Avatar's YouTube channel. We want you to know that this family has been spending our time literally trying to get the story to you, the people, to inform you about what's actually being done to create this international health crisis that has so far cost trillions of dollars in revenues lost to industries, trillions of dollars in revenues spent by governments to try to deal with the problems created by those who have used this technology to commit this global holocaust against the entire human race from inside the fourth dimension. We are the family who is currently being targeted by Donald J. Trump and a number of these unseen criminals working for the American military, trying to kill our mortal lives, especially the avatars, because she is the one with the spiritual eye, spiritual sight, mind's eye, with the knowledge of what's being done with this technology and how these criminals are using it under the guise that some kind of global, some kind of pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic is actually causing all the suffering and pain that they're not going through. So, for those reasons, they're trying to force us back out onto the streets of Niagara Falls, where we ended up coming after we were evicted from our place we lived in at 251 Scott Street almost a year, late November of last year. Evidence of this technology is something which we'd like you to also take a look at. We want to invite you to check out a manuscript that we will post on the Avatar's YouTube channel, audio form, about which is a chunk of the book manuscript of Sounding the Alarm that we're putting together to hopefully publish before the end of the year. But the evidence of this technology, just for you to get an understanding of what we're sharing with you, the Avatar remembers the night when she sat on our bed and she touched the unseen shoulder of one of these unseen criminals, Donald J. Trump, and she saw that he felt like he was wearing a texture that was made
Silicone.
of a synthetic material, lined with a silicone substance, and so we came to call this a cloak of invisibility. Another occasion, when we're walking one day from our home in Scott Street to Fairview Mall, and she was spraying around her because she was being attacked unseen by one of these unseen criminals, most likely Donald J. Trump. She decloaked the body of this assassin who was attacking her, and it looked as if he was wearing, as she described, that
cloak of invisibility.
something. There was no one behind us at the time. We're walking, but you saw.
But you stopped by the gas station to speak to a friend, and I was standing in the same place and waiting for you to finish.
Yes.
That's when I saw something coming, and I was spraying, trying to get rid of the person who was coming to attack me and was attacking me in the parking lot and so.
Yes.
And while I kept spraying, suddenly someone appeared, and the whatever it is I was spraying came out of the person, went in the back of them like as if it was a color, and it looked like
a grayish.
Yes, kind of hue, see-through.
Yes.
And it was just sort of leaning back, more or less brownish, more than grayish.
Okay.
And so I was in shock. I did not know who it was, and I did not understand why that was happening. I completely forgot about what was happening before. So when the person was walking towards me, I said, "Please excuse me, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to wet you." I thought, thinking it was someone else.
Yes.
But later on, when he went to the gas station and got into his car, and we walked up to where that area he was supposed to drive his car into those streets, we actually waited, right?
Yes.
And then he...
well, what did you, since we're doing a short
can't remember.
promotion. Oh, one of the problems that the avatar has having is that
memory.
She has had the cavities of the brain attacked with an electronic knife
by Mr. Trump
repeatedly for decades, and so he's managed to block access to her brain from her, and so her memory and access to her own life experiences have been deliberately sabotaged by the man-child incompetent president in the Oval Office as we speak. Another example of the presence and use of this technology is the time when the avatar was testing to see one night in Scott Street where we lived, to see if our daughter was correct in saying that there were people inside her body speaking about her, speaking to her, and also speaking to us. So she was ringing the dinner bell overhead repeatedly, and suddenly she saw something through her third eye, inner eye, mind's eye. And you described it as seeing the body of a metaphysical being coming out of
the body of a person.
Your body. The left shoulder, like the arm came out, and then the head and the legs.
Quite true.
And then the other side.
Yes.
Both two people were inside the avatar's body at the same time. They were there like Trojan horses. This technology gives these agents of the government the ability to control the mind and bodies of human beings from the outside as Manchurian candidates. They can also go inside your body through your ears or your eyes or your mouth and stay there. Another time, the avatar told me one evening when we were inside our bedroom, she looked at me as I went over to her and she said, "Andregon, there's someone inside you. There's someone inside your body looking at me through your eyes."
Yes.
And it shook me because I knew that these criminals occupy the bodies of my daughter and my wife. 2 weeks earlier, when she told me that there was someone inside my body, I was stunned and surprised. Michael Jackson. I spent about 10 years talking to Michael over a course of about 100 hours of conversation I had with him inside our home at 10 Spring Grove Avenue. And he told me in one of this conversation, I haven't recorded any of it, that he said, "Andregon, they killed me while I was sleeping. As I hovered above my lifeless body, I saw these two shadows giving each other a high five. They killed Michael Jackson from the fourth dimension wearing cloaks of invisibility, and one of these criminals that did so, according to one of the Avatar's sister gods, was Donald J. Trump." who's actually not, he's not he's not been given a divine mandate by any of the members of the Committee of Gods, which Avatar is the most senior member of. He's actually someone who came from the belly of the fourth dimension, from a place called Winterland, where beings who have become demonic have to go because they cannot go up into the higher realms because they're too clogged with all kinds of gunk that they've gathered over time, in abusing and undermining and destroying the lives of mortal beings knowingly and consciously. We are asking for you, the people, to look at our story and to help us to remain sheltered inside this city during this cold Canadian winter. We're hoping to have the book manuscript, Sounding the Alarm, finished and available for publication for you to learn the story about what's actually being done with a technology that does not belong on this planet and is being used by the American military from inside the fourth dimension to infect the bodies of tens of millions of you so far, and currently they are increasing the spread of this pandemic by causing it to become more intense in numbers, and they're trying to literally drive the human race into a state of not just terrorization and traumatization, they're trying to break the spirit
of all my hair.
Of human beings. And so what has been done to our family using this technology, in fact, when the avatar was born, they tried to kill her at birth. Our daughter, the same thing, from inside the fourth dimension, with the same technology being used today to attack and infect the bodies of tens of millions of you so far today. Thank you for listening to this production.
But one thing I would like to say.
Sorry, go ahead, Amazon.
I would like to say this. Mr. Trump owes us money because he raped our daughter and terrorized our bodies and our lives.
Yes, for decades.
And he has used someone in Canada to help him to do damage to our daughter.
Yes.
So we, as soon as they pay us the money that they owe us, we should be able to help or give you money back so that you can now continue on your way, on your life, with your life. But for now, we have nothing, and we are trying to have this looked at, and we will give you the information that we can. Whatever I remember, I'll tell you. What I don't know, what I can't remember, I just can't tell you. I'd be lying if I did. So it's good that my husband is able to alert you what has been happening with me and actually with the family. We have been put through a great deal of hell. I worked in movies in the past.
Yes.
And I did other jobs, and our children did jobs in movies too. Actually, they were making more money than I did.
Yes.
So we are saying that we have reached our out of luck because of what Mr. Trump has been doing to us all along with the guidance of the American government. So we could only help once we get our money, and we also have a lot of people too that we have to help because they're going through a lot like us, and also helping those who don't look like us to be the ones who are in trouble and need help.
Yes.
So
because we're family.
Yes, and so we are trying to get all of this done with the intentions of paying back in the future. So please forgive us for asking. We cannot do anything else. But we do want to alert you that we will be there for you, and just leave your name, the ones who are bringing money and leaving. We would be happy to return that money to you with a little bit more for you to be able to look after yourselves. Thank you.
Something else too. We intend to bring an end to this COVID-19 pandemic, which is false, inaccurate, and deceptive, and in the process save human beings, governments, trillions of dollars in money they're not spending to maintain this COVID-19 false narrative, and also help save industries who are losing trillions of dollars across the planet because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So I guess some of the gods have said to me, well, the compensation that you're asking for, even if it was whatever the amount is, you're actually helping human beings to regain control of their lives, to live again without living with masks and living where they're keeping away from each other and constantly washing their hands and living in fear that this invisible enemy, that this contagious, overpowering, menacing, deadly virus could take their lives or the lives of their loved ones. So the work we're doing in asking you to invest to help us to get it done, it's something which we believe we need to do, and something which, from your point of view, if you look at it carefully, you will find it also a wise course to take to help a couple of whistleblowers who are sounding the alarm about the actual source that is creating and maintaining the international health crisis today from inside the fourth dimension, when cloaks of invisibility, and using a technology that is thousands of years ahead of anything that has been created by the human race so far. Thank you for listening to us, and blessings to each of you.
Blessings.
We'll talk again with an updated video tomorrow, or as soon as we can. Tomorrow is good.
Yeah. And don't forget, leave your telephone number and your name, so that when Mr. Trump give us the money that they owe us for the hell that we've been put through, and Mr. Trudeau, we can then return to you that and some more for you to be able to have. Also, we want to help other people who are really going through a great deal, that are very much like us, and we want to make sure they are looked after, because they're going through hell, and nobody seems to give a hoot about what they're going through, and it's something that shouldn't be happening, and we're all being treated in that manner because of a color. So try to remember that all beings, no matter what nationality they are, we are a family, and I will always love you. Our family will always love you. All beings will love each other in the right way once they understand how much connected we all are. I love you all. We love you all.
Tell them too. As the Avatar teaches, we're equals forever.
Yeah.
No matter who
or what we are.
And none of us is better
than another.
Whether we're a woman
or a man,
boy
or girl,
or have all the money
in the world.
If you think that you are superior
to someone else, it is only because you feel inferior inside yourself.
And that's because, as she teaches, we're each other's keepers.
Yes.
My human sisters and brothers, and it's time for us to come together and be there for each other. Bonds of pure and sacred light that cannot be broken glue each of us together now and forever. Whatever harm
is done to one wounds you, me, and everyone.
If
Values today are being thrown away.
Each and every day by people
we have forgotten because of
whatever harm is done to one wounds you, me, and everyone. If you cannot help each other,
let us try not to hurt one another.
Because
whatever you do deeply touches me and you.
Yes. Blessings.
Blessings.
We'll talk again, and please help us to help you to bring an end to this COVID-19 false, deceptive, inaccurate narrative and way of existence.
Yes. So please remember this. We are family. Treat everyone with respect and dignity. Children, adults, when you see that you can do so, you can do that. Nothing is wrong with it. Just be careful, protect yourself. And because a lot of people are not aware of all of these things because they were blocked at some time in their point in life when they were small. And because systems have taken over and is controlling the masses, the parents do not have the time to look after their children in the manner in which they could if they got a chance to make their decisions and see to it that their children are cared for first, and then show why it works when their children are cared for. Because when all beings are cared for as children, they grow up to be the kind of adults that they were born to be. And when they're not, you have chaos, which is what is going on right now.
Yes.
But please forgive those that are going through it, because they did not create the problem. The systems took over and was telling the families what they can and cannot do. And when you start doing that, you create this kind of problem for people and their children. So blessings to you all.
Yes.
And we'll talk more about those things in the future. I'll be more ready to speak about these areas, because you all need to know so that you'll be able to protect your own families when you have.
And check out our broadcast. I knew we've been on Facebook Live, and also sometimes there's a whole bunch of them on Avatar Galactra's YouTube channel.
Thank you for listening.
And for helping. Goodbye.
Blessings. Goodbye. Well, that's good. We can stop there.
Yeah, let's do. Okay,
We'll be putting a few things. We don't need to do anything.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for that, wasn't it? But that was a long unusual promo. But
oh, I see. You really added to it. So.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
I also
But I think some of what's especially things that we have said that are important for them to know and hear.
True.
You know, so
True.
it's not too bad.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's.